wherever you are in the world. This is Radio Works Well. I am Vadim Turkano with my weekly show, Intelligent Migrant Man. And today I have a special guest, is Alexis, who's done wonders in her sport career, and in very interesting manner. She tapped it. She tapped in that world, for a little bit, and she's actually staying there and conquering, still doing wonders in that world. Alexis, if someone asks you what you do and who you are, how would you answer?
Oh, well, I guess I was a former 5 times world champion Thai boxer, and I now compete and coach CrossFit. So I'm a competitive CrossFit athlete. So that would be me.
So that's amazing. So there is two kind of slightly different types of sport. What are the difference between them? Is there anything that links them in between them, or it's like you stepped completely different world?
Yeah, I mean, I did Thai boxing for about 15 years. I competed. I kind of went all the way to the top, competed at the highest level, and yeah, I mean, that was, obviously I was fighting. It was a martial arts. It's a combat sport. It taught me a huge amount about, strength, endurance, mental toughness. And, I decided at the end of my fighting career, it was time to move on. But, I'm a very competitive person in kind of a lot of aspects of my life, and CrossFit is a competitive sport. And it kind of made sense for me to fall into that. I learned a lot more, different things about movement and how the body works, how the body functions, and I was able to transfer a lot through from what I'd learned as a fighter, especially kind of the mental toughness and the mental strength and the engine that I built as a fighter, is what I use now in CrossFit. When you look at it as the two sports, they're very different, but as an athlete, you use similarities in the two sports.
I agree because I used to be a professional judo sportsman. I used to compete on European championships, and I used to represent my country. And then all those skills I also transferred into business now. So I do exactly know what you mean by transferring your skills.
Yeah,
I'm quite you're saying quite casually. I've been 5 times world champion and stuff like that, but that's something like really big, like over there. Being a sport, we have. I'm sure our listeners and viewers have a lot to learn. From anything what you say. Before going to some of the things what helped you, achieve so much. I just wondered, how does your beginning of the day looks like now, and how it used to be looking before when you were doing Thai box? Did anything change, and how do you start your day?
Yeah, I mean, I guess now, I mean, when I was fighting, I actually had a full-time office job. So my training would be around my job. So I would train early mornings, work during the day, and then come back and train in the evenings. And then I made a decision a few years ago to actually pursue a coaching career and become a personal trainer. So I was able to be around the gym more, and so my training wasn't so basically, so my training would be my focal point. So I guess when I was fighting, I had to fit in my training a lot around my job, but now as a CrossFit coach, I'm working at the gym and I'm training training is a lot easier to do being at the gym every day. But I still work, I'm still a coach, so I still have a job, and that obviously that is a priority because I need to make money, but as a competitive athlete as well, I this is kind of my job as well, I guess. So I'm not juggling as much as I used to, I suppose, now, as I did then.
That's cool. What would you say are the 3 most important things that someone should pay attention to when either begin, a career of sport in sport? What would you advise that would be 3 main points that someone would need to pay attention to?
I think
or
you've got
work
to,
on?
well, like one of the first things I always say to people is do what you actually want to do. So if it's your dream, and if this is your, you know you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're doing something that perhaps someone else has suggested you'd be good at, or that you do. It's this, follow your own dream and believe in yourself. Surround yourself with people better than you, because you've got to constantly learn. You're only going to learn off people better than you. And listen to your body. If your body's telling you something's wrong, you should listen to it, because ultimately your body's going to carry you through in a sports career. Especially, it's I wake up every day and I'm so thankful that my body's still as fit as it is and as strong as it is. But if your nutrition's off point, or you've got an injury or something, you need to listen to what your body's saying to you and stop or carry on, or whatever that is. But yeah, I think, I'm not sure those are like the three most important, but those are three very important things that I've always followed in my career.
Uh, Alexis, who was, or maybe still is, your one of the most motivated, or one of the most important people that in your life that changed you or motivated you, or that you consider is the most important person? Maybe
Uh,
two people
what, in relation to my sports career, or?
yeah, in your life. I'm sure it doesn't relate just to sport. I mean, it's all, it's you personally.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when I first started my fighting career, my original coach, who I worked with, he was one of my biggest influences. Seeing what he did and where he'd gone with his career, and his belief in me, I think he was kind of one of my biggest inspirations. But sort of later on, I think my dad was a huge inspiration to me, and just in terms of building my confidence and making me actually do what I really wanted to do. And not, I had a lot of people sort of against what, not believing I could do what I actually have gone on to achieve. And my dad was the one person who did actually believe I could do it. So he was another big influence, I think.
That's very strong. Exactly.
Mm.
I feel, and I about the people having in your life someone who believes in you and trusts in you. That's the I found that's one very, very common part of, in sport career, either in business or anywhere. For people,
Yeah.
when I interview people, that I find is quite common.
Yeah.
So important. That's very good. What would you like to, unfortunately we don't have a lot of time. And Alexis, we have this month, end of this month, we have a authors award. When we have a lot of people coming as a sort of a red carpet kind of event. Where I'll present my book as well there, and
Yeah.
you're welcome to come if you're available at that time.
Yeah.
Be
Thank
my
you.
guest, please. And I'm sure people would want to find out from you some more, and to if you can share your story there. And
Yeah,
I just want
definitely.
to, yeah, I'll send you the link, so you can have a look. And finally, I want to ask you, what would you like people to take from this conversation? What would you like to advise? Maybe there's a few things that you want people, listeners, to hear, and consider. Maybe you want advice from you, or something that you would like them to hear.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a quite a short interview, so it's difficult, because it would have been nice to go into a little bit more. But I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of ended up doing what I do. Not, I didn't. I knew I wanted to do this, but I wasn't quite sure whether I was, this was going to be possible. And I'd kind of come from a very bad place in myself. When I was about 18 years old, I was anorexic and very ill and very sick. And basically, sport kind of helped me get myself healthier and better, and realize that I am a strong woman, and I have got a strong body, and I can take that and push my body and be kind of the best human being I can be, physically as well as mentally. And it was just through belief in myself and just growing an exceptionally strong mind. I've got a motto that I live by, that if the mind is strong, the physical possibilities are endless. And you know, that motto is proven right over and over and over again. You know, I've created a strong mind, and physically I've been able to do, you know, so many things, and I'm still doing so many things. So, you know, work on your mind first of all, first and foremost. It can do wonders for you, for your life.
This is something very, very interesting, and I want to, you know, let's come back a little bit to this, because I feel this is so powerful, so strong. You just said something very important, very strong here, and I'd like to let's go through a bit on that. Let's maybe extend a little bit of time of
Sure.
our interview. Let's hold it on. I want you to share this. You had you just said that, you know, you had a experience, you know, you had anorexia, you had some body issues that, you know, at that time. What was the point that, you know, that drove you or helped you out of that, and what were you thinking then, and what changed, what happened?
Uh, it was quite simply a decision that I made. I mean, I had numerous counsellors and people that I spoke to about it, that I thought would magically make me better and make me, you know, a stronger person again. But ultimately, I literally just woke up one day and realised that the only person that is going to make myself better is me. And I just made a decision. I decided that I didn't want this life anymore, and I wanted a better one, and I wanted my body to be better, and I just did it day by day. It was literally day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, and I slowly gained a bit more confidence in who I was and what my body actually was. But changing my relationship with food and changing my relationship with myself, it took time, but ultimately it was a mental battle that I, you know, ultimately that I fixed myself somehow. You know, I made sure I had the support around me, but you know, it was just a decision I had to make, and I somehow did it. I don't really
Well
know how
done.
else to explain it. Yeah.
Who was beside you on this journey, in turning this around
Uh,
and motivating you every time?
I guess my mum at the time, so she, you know, she gave me sort of the emotional support I needed at the time, and I had a very good friend, she's probably one of my oldest friends, a girl I used to live with. She supported me through it as well. You know, just reassuring me on a lot of, you know, things I doubted about myself, I guess. So yeah, it was my family and my friend. Her name is Jenny. So yeah.
Mm. Well, there's a lot of I mean, no, um, there, you know, everyone's been there. You know, everyone's been in
Mm,
a place where, you know, we don't see, you know, an ending, or we don't see
yeah.
an open door, how to get out of there. You know, and we think that,
Yeah.
you know, that's just us. You know, there's no one else. You know, and this
Yeah.
I'm in a darkest place ever. No one else. Everyone is kind of okay, but
Yeah.
I'm fucked up and stuff.
Yeah.
And and how, and you know, quite a lot of people still are there, you know, are still there.
Mm,
What would you say, what would you advise, you know, to someone, as you know, I've been there myself as well personally,
mm.
you know, but I hear you, you know, you had, and being a woman, you know, it's even harder. What helped you? What would you say to someone who's in that situation at the moment? What would you say to someone like that?
Uh, don't go at it alone. Even though, you know, there are a lot, you know, if you can reach out to people, because I mean, I often found myself, and I still find myself in dark places where I'm, you know, battling with all these things in my head and convincing myself of situations that just simply don't exist, but in my head, my mind, they do. And it's only by, you know, getting a friend on the phone or getting somebody I can just talk to and rationalize things with, that it just changes everything so much. If you can, you know, if there's someone you can talk to. And also the other thing, you know, it sounds easy to say, but you know, you go to sleep at night and everything seems like, you know, you've got a brick wall crashing down on your head, but you're going to wake up the next day, the world is going to carry on, people are going to get up and do their thing, and you can change absolutely anything you want to. You know, everyone has a choice, and you know, I don't believe that your life is written out for you already. You can change absolutely anything. You know, and I just reading a little bit about what the link that you sent me on your book, you know, and what you did and changed your life around it. Anything is possible. It really, really is possible. You know.
I love this saying, you know, that, you know, we cannot control anything in this world, but what
Yeah.
we can control, the only thing we can control is how we react to what's happening in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's,
yeah.
so that, yeah, that's exactly what, you know, I'd like to hear more if you want to say something, you know, to extend on a thought a bit more. If not, or, you know, we can always have another interview, you know, because I'm quite excited to hear a bit more of what you say. But, you know, if you do, if you think that you have something, I'd like you to say it. Otherwise, I'd like you to leave the listeners with something, you know, with something in the to gather, you know, from this conversation, like 2 things that are important, just to leave them with.
I mean, I have said, you know, what we were saying before about, you know, mental strength and everything, and you know, making a choice that, you know, you choosing to change things. I think those are the 2 most important kind of messages I wanted to get across, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of at the moment sort of exploring a little bit about, you know, being a female in a very male dominated kind of environment, and sort of, you know, I'm not one of those kind of, you know, pro women, pro female, women only, you know, people. But I do believe that, you know, a lot of women do struggle to you know, we have a lot of, you know, things attached to what women should be like, and, you know, we don't want to be too muscular, and we don't want to be too strong, and too this and too that. Well, you know, my body shape's changed dramatically over the years, from being exceptionally, you know, skinny to, you know, fat to, you know, very muscular and lean, and, you know, you got to be who you want to be, really, and whatever's going to make you happy. Yeah, so I just, you know, I don't even know what's going to happen in 10, 20 years time to my body or to my career. You know, it's still a journey that I'm exploring. But, you know, some way, somehow, I just hope that my story is going to be able to influence people and, you know, help them in some way, really.
Exactly, that's why we're here, that's what we're doing this, Alexis. And, you know, I really wish that, you know, you can join us on 28th and 29th, because that would, you know, that would give you another step towards, you know, your plan, or, you know, whatever you desire. From what I gather from our discussion, you know, you must be there. You know, I'll show you the link, and I'll see you there. And, you know, I want to also to, maybe we'll have another round on this. Yeah, sorry for having not enough time. You know, I'd like to hear more of you, but and we'll discuss at the event as well.
All right,
Alex, it's been a pleasure.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, dear. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.